Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity, a show about weirdos. With your hosts, John Fahey, Aaron Peter, and Matt Brozo.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity. It's a show about weirdos, doggone it. My name is Johnboy. I'm your host, John Francis Fahey. Joining me as ever is, of course, the Lechador, Aaron Joseph Pita.
The milkman.
The milkman.
The milker.
Yeah. Jack Splack.
Dude, I've been dealing with milk a lot.
Yeah?
Cool, dude.
Yeah.
Cool. Pasteurized?
This kid no, it's raw, straight from the tit.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah. That's
wait.
cool.
Just any tit?
No.
No,
Oh, good. Okay, because,
Yeah.
these days.
No, not just any tit.
No. You don't want that shit.
No, but in a pinch,
Well, you got a pinch.
it helps.
Yeah. So a lot of milk. That's cool.
Yeah, a lot of diapers. I'm really good with diapers.
Yeah. Good diaper guy?
Yeah, good guy.
I could have guessed that.
Yeah.
Now,
Aaron, across from you, who's that over there?
hey, that's the Cape God Gabe God.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hi.
Handsome Matt Brozo.
Hello.
And, gentlemen, we are, of course, in the brand new studio.
We are.
With all of our
New
cool
shit.
new equipment.
Yeah. All the new equipment is up, except the sign.
Except the sign.
The
We'll
sign,
work on that.
we
But yeah,
gotta tinker with the sign so everybody
you're-
gets a good.
if you're one of those weirdos that doesn't listen and only listens on YouTube, you're seeing a big old upgrade right now.
Oh yeah,
Big upgrade.
yeah.
But we're a work in progress.
And
as
hopefully you hear it.
Oh, yeah, you got to hear the fucking shit. I mean,
The upgrade.
God willing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we obviously have been talking about this for a long time, so it's good to be here,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Pretty fucking nice.
Mm-hmm.
Feels good. Looks good. It's only going to look better, too. That's crazy.
That's
huh?
right.
Oh, my God.
I know.
It's a self-improving thing, kind of like Skynet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like Skynet.
It's pretty much exactly like it's going to
Fellas,
happen.
I'm ready.
I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
This will be a part one. All right. But tell me everything that you know about a man named Tito.
Tito Ortiz.
Tito Puente?
I don't know who either of those guys are.
You don't know Tito Puente?
No, I don't know who Tito Puente is.
come on.
Cuban jazz legend.
Oh, Tito Puente. Yes, I do. I
Okay,
do.
thank you.
I believe Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Latin jazz, just as a catch-all. And Tito Ortiz, the bad boy, the Huntington Beach bad boy,
Right.
UFC Hall of Famer,
Or Tito Terry Francona, the baseball manager.
a University of Arizona alumnus.
Wow. Noted
Tito's
Old-
vodka.
Old man. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of Titos.
Yeah.
Tito Jackson has not been mentioned.
Of the Jackson 5?
Yeah.
No.
He hasn't.
And nor will he be.
Okay. I was going to say, like, out of all the Jacksons, Tito?
Nope.
He's about to go off for a two-part
On Tito?
on Tito Jackson.
Two for teats?
So this is the milk he likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real details.
Yeah, not Tito Santana either. Good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Tito Santana, not ringing a bell, huh?
No.
You would be a
Wrestler?
yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. You know, I was just as a aside, I was in Burbank this weekend doing some fatherly chores type of stuff, errands.
Stealing milk, yeah.
Yeah, stealing milk, etc. And at this like little empanada spot,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it World Empanadas?
Yeah.
Oh, they're great.
they are great.
Yeah.
There's like 50 kinds.
Oh, wait, is this Burbank?
Yeah,
Yeah. I've never been in there.
it's great. You don't go in; you just sit outside.
Oh, okay.
But they had like a sign for like,
You're not
oh,
allowed.
holiday.
Why? Yeah, outside.
You can't go in.
Outside is good for you.
You know, it's one of those. It's a stand. It's a.
Oh yeah,
You
but
don't go
it
in.
doesn't have a storefront.
No, it's not a sit down place. You get it at a window.
Oh, okay.
And so they had like a thing because Nickelodeon Studios is around the corner.
Yeah.
So they had like a little flyer for like holiday fucking thing for Nickelodeon.
Oh, they got like slime empanadas or whatever.
No, it was just no, but they had like, oh, this person from whatever is going to be there. Then they had like WWE superstar Rikishi.
Cool.
I
And
was like,
he works
what
there?
about Scotty Too Hottie?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rikishi is bouncing now. I don't know, but it was just a weird thing. He brought up Tito Santana.
So I saw. I was asking. I call Aaron the Lechador because because on my way here I saw a Tesla. You know, I love the vanity plates, and there was one that said De Leche, And so I was like, my brain wasn't working. I was like, what the fuck is Lecce again? And because I'm thinking Tesla, like I was just on the wrong track. And I just Googled Lecce, and it was like 1, milk, 2, cum. And I was like, Google is telling me, like, this is the first, like, it's not the first result.
That's a good license plate,
second-
too. 1, milk, 2, cum.
The
Yeah.
cum.
It's like just, if you like
What the fuck?
Google spunk, and it's like moxie, enthusiasm, come.
You, pal.
Jeez.
All right. Well,
Tito.
is a guy that ruled Yugoslavia for basically, half a century. And I got interested in him because of discovering Umex culture. And Umex culture is...
Yugoslavian Mexicans.
Yeah.
Mexican
Oh,
Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
wow.
And so Depths of Wikipedia, shout out to Depths of Wikipedia and Annie, it was like a thing. She was like, oh yeah, Tito, the dictator, the leader of Yugoslavia, was deliberately trying not to import either because of the Cold War, even though he was a communist. He was trying not to import Russian movies or American movies. And so he just went ham on Mexican culture.
Cool.
No shit.
So there would be like Yugoslavians with sombreros and shit, and like,
Nice.
but so I was like, what an interesting character. And then the more I found out about him, it was like maybe the most cult of personality person I've ever learned about.
Really?
Yeah, like
So that's high praise, John.
yeah,
And one of your favorite songs.
yeah,
by Living Colour?
Yep. Like Mussolini. It's a very good song. Anybody who doesn't like that song is wrong. It's a great riff. It's a killer song. But so Tito presides over Yugoslavia for most of it being a country, and after his death, like it quickly starts falling into, kind of the tribalism that it's made up of.
So we're talking like the fall of the Soviet, like, or when exactly?
Oh,
you consider it a country, because for a while it was like a Soviet republic, right?
No.
Never was.
No. Yeah, it was, and that's what I was under the assumption too, because it was communist.
Right.
But he actually kind of stepped away from Stalin in an incredibly brave and lucky way.
Interesting.
And
And they made that car, the Yugo.
Yeah.
Steve Urkel drove.
It was it was like during its heyday under Tito. It was like a communist country and like very much socialist principles, profit sharing of all the companies and shit like that. But it was still open to like foreign investment and had open borders.
Interesting.
So like, it was like people loved going, and the people of, it's made up of Kosovo, Bosnia, Croatia, Serbia. They're all in there, and all later would splinter once he was gone.
Okay, yes. I feel incredibly ignorant about this.
Dude, me too. I mean, also along the way of learning about this shit, I learned a lot about the Russian Revolution, which I did not know at all.
Yeah. It's like a day in high school.
Yeah, no, really, yeah.
Yeah, because there's actually 3 different revolutions and civil wars that happened.
Oh, dude.
In that time.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a whole lot going on. So it was this guy, his name was Josip Broz.
Broz.
Yeah, it's Broz, but it's pronounced like Broz. And there's still kind of doubt whether as to that is his actual real name.
Josip.
There's so much mystery and stuff here because, I mean, you can imagine where Yugoslavia is positioned, and then the beginning of when he's born into the Austro-Hungarian Empire, right? And he's in a town in Croatia. He has a Croatian father and a Slovenian mother. And
so when he's born, 1910?
No. He's 18. Let's see here. 1892.
Oh, it wasn't too far, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's start with the parents. Frango Broz was 21 years old when he married the 17-year-old Maria Havasek on January 21st, 1881. And like I said, he was a Croat. She was a Slovenian, and they lived in this border town, right on the Slovenian border between Croatia, called Kumrovec. And
all comes back to it.
She was from Podsreda, a village 10 miles away. Frango had inherited a house and a 10-acre estate, but he was a shitty farmer. And they had 7 children, and a lot of them died in early infancy. So Croatia and Slovenia, again, part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The empire was Central European, multinational, constitutional monarchy, and a patchwork of nations. And it was basically the end of the Habsburg monarchy, right? And that was formed in 1867. And it had only recently gotten to the Balkans at this time. So their relationship was kind of an example of how there was commingling between the nationalities that made up the new part of, the empire. So their 8th child was Josip. That's Josip. He was born on May 7th, 1892. And he was Christian and raised Roman Catholic. He went to his grandparents over in Slovenia a lot because his parents were very poor. And they kept losing more children.
Crops, children, they couldn't raise shit.
They would go on to have 7 more children.
Oh my God.
Well, so
That's why he got her at 17, just to roll the dice. Keep rolling that dice.
Well, the nice thing is you have the children raise the children.
Yeah, or your parents that are in another village.
Yeah, they're fucking 30.
Yeah.
So when he goes to school at the age of 8, he speaks better Slovene than Croatian. He still identifies as a Croatian, like his father. And he was a poor student. He had to repeat the 2nd grade.
Why is that so funny to you?
I knew he was going to do that.
Who has to repeat the 2nd grade?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
What's the 2nd grade? Is that math?
I don't know.
Dude, they start tackling the C's and the D's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I get to the second half of the alphabet.
Yeah. Oh, their alphabet's all different. He kept throwing his name Joseph.
Yeah.
So he only did 4 years formal schooling. For the rest of his life, he was a terrible speller.
That's okay.
So while you were imagining this guy and everything he
people
goes
do
through,
that.
just imagine him fucking this part really doesn't make sense.
Trying to fucking spell out genocide in a memo and just can't do it.
So he went to go work for his uncle in 1907 at the age of 15. His father wanted him to move to the U.S. and he couldn't raise enough money for the trip.
It was probably expensive.
Yeah.
You got to get on a boat.
Plus all the other kids are stealing your quarters.
Yeah.
So he goes to Sisak, a city in central Croatia, where his cousin got him a restaurant job. He hated the work. He went up to this locksmith named Nikola Karas and asked him to take him on as an apprentice. There was a contract signed. It included training and room and board.
That's a good gig.
Not bad.
And it's a solid job as well.
And he was so impressed with him that he took on his younger brother too. And so at the age of 17, 1909, he's reading and selling a socialist newspaper named Slobodna Rek.
Slobodna Rek.
Yeah, which means free word. And Karas is encouraging Josip to mark the celebration of May Day in 1909. May Day is still fairly new.
Yeah, it's at that point. It's a labor holiday.
Correct. Yeah,
Right.
and it came from America and the Haymarket riots.
So that's interesting. They were celebrating that too.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing about the rise of socialism is like
It's popular.
Well,
Workers celebrating workers is popular.
international workers.
yeah, work sucks. I know, and
That famous Blink-182 lyric.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it happens to a lot of guys, dude.
I just got.
That's what I get for fucking dropping a Blink reference.
Yeah. Get the mic away from this man.
Yeah. The fucking mic gave up. So yeah, it had only been started in 1886, but they were yearly events, and people got down with it, and the Haymarket thing started in Chicago. Somebody threw a bomb at the cops. The cops.
Well, that's questioned. We're not entirely sure.
Agent
If
provocateur,
yeah.
perhaps.
Did an anarchist do it?
Yeah, I
It
mean,
was Antifa.
Yeah, it was Antifa.
I mean, people did like throwing bombs back then. So either way,
Yeah.
I'm down for the cause.
Yeah.
It killed 7 police officers and 4 civilians in the ensuing shootout as well.
Well, yeah, and all the cops shot each other by accident.
Yeah, it was about to be some shot up motherfuckers. He completed his apprenticeship in 1910. At the age of 18, he secured a job in Zagreb, which is the Croatian capital. And in December, he was back in Kumrovec looking for work. From 19 to 20 ages, He was traveling around the empire as an itinerant metal worker. His first stop was the capital of Slovenia, and then Trieste in northern Italy. Back to Kumrovec, and then Zagreb, where he repaired bicycles. No money.
Oh, man.
Oh, he had money.
That's a drop that we need. We need the no money drop.
And
we just did it.
He participated in his first May Day strike in 1911. Okay. He got a factory job in Kamnik, a Slovenian town in the Alps. The factory closed, and he was offered employment at another factory in Senkov, or Chenkov, and it's in Bohemia, now a part of the Czech Republic. He found out that his boss was trying to bring in a new crew to undercut the local workforce, and they went on strike, and they forced the boss to back down.
Hell yeah.
Nice. That's pretty good.
So then he moves to Plzeň, near Prague, and he works in a massive industrial factory, Skoda Works, and they make cars, machine tools, steam turbines, guns, ships, and he only works there a short while before traveling to Munich, and then he works at the Benz car factory in Mannheim.
Nice.
Wow. This guy's working. He's going all over for the metal.
It's fucking, I mean, when I read about this guy's travels and travails, it's so exhausting.
Yeah. I mean, never mind the work.
Yeah, that's exhausting.
Yeah. I mean,
metalworking, it's heavy duty shit.
October 1912, he's living with his older brother Martin's family in Vienna, and he's working for another automaker. But he gets involved with fencing and dancing. Yeah,
fencing and dancing.
He's great at, but you could say fencing is half dancing.
That's right.
So he's working
foils.
He's working on German, and he spoke what was considered passable Czech. 1913, he's 21 years old. He's drafted into the Austro-Hungarian Empire's army.
Shit.
He showed talent, and he got singled out for non-commissioned officer training. He won a silver medal at an Army fencing competition in May of 1914.
Oh, I thought you said Arby for a second.
Yeah, that's what.
Army?
Yeah, he got a big beef and cheddar.
Yeah. He's duking it out. Some sloppy joes.
Some horsey sauce.
He had become the youngest sergeant major in the Army.
Wow.
In 1940, by the summer of 1914.
Man of the people, man of the army,
Of course, in the summer of 1914, a little thing starts happening called the First World War.
Huh.
WWI.
And he is his unit is sent to invade Serbia, and the locals put up a fierce old fight. Then they move him to the Eastern Front to fight against the Russians, and his unit is overrun by a cavalry charge, and he takes a lance right next to his heart. And the entire battalion is captured by the Russians, and then he's now a prisoner of war.
Dude, not good.
No,
not good.
Not ideal.
He was transported to a hospital in an old monastery. During his 13 months of hospitalization, he learned Russian, which is his fifth language.
Jeez.
From and that's in between bouts of typhus and pneumonia.
Oh my God.
This is all happening in the hospital.
Yeah. I guess in comparison to typhus and pneumonia, learning Russian's
yeah.
walk in the park.
Now I know why they call it the sick war.
So then he gets far more schooled about the tenets of Bolshevism.
And he gets far more schooled in?
Yes. And the Bolsheviks then are still a far left faction of the greater Marxist Russians, and they're led by Lenin, of course, and they split with the Mensheviks at the Second Party Congress in 1903. Mensheviks would have been more moderate. And so what, is going to happen here is he's later going to have to be kind of cagey about his service in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, because don't forget that they were fighting wars within what would be Yugoslavia against people that would be his people. So he kind of would be cagey about, like, if he was drafted or if he was forced, blah, blah, blah. But it's thought that because he was a Croat, it was expected, and he also was good at it.
Tough times.
And he would look at it also as how they, particularly through Yugoslavians on both sides, or on all sides, you could say, into the front lines because they don't value the Slavic people basically. And so he was like, "Oh, I'm like actually assisting in like the oppression of my people." 30,000 Slovenians died. 130,000 Croatians died in World War I. Civilian casualties from Croatia were 109,000.
Jesus Christ!
Oh my God.
In 1916, he's 24. He's recuperated. He's taken to the Arditov POW camp in Samara, Russia, which is not far from Kazakhstan.
Hey,
This guy fucking moves around. And he maintains the village's grain mill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's a metal worker. He probably, hits it, keeps it.
I don't know. He does all bikes. What the fuck? Bikes. Then he's transferred to another POW camp in the Ural Mountains. The prisoners maintained the newly completed Trans-Siberian Railway.
hey.
Oh, okay. Jesus.
He was put in charge of the POWs, but when he complained to the camp about this camp staff stealing their packages from the Red Cross, he got a beating and a prison sentence.
Yeah, what did you expect? They're stealing your packages. They're going to beat you.
Also, it's a prison sentence as opposed to being a prisoner of war. The war is still going on. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. Okay.
So,
I don't know which is better, but
Probably worse, I'm guessing.
it would be worse. The Russian people's, of course, they got fed up with the monarchy around 1917, and there was mass protests and food rationing on February 23rd, 1917. Eventually, the Capitol Guard sided with the revolutionaries. 3 days later, Tsar Nicholas II abdicated, and a new provisional government was brought in. During the days of revolution, a crowd broke into the prison where he was being held and returned him to the POW camp, which is an upgrade, but not great.
I mean, this is a revolution,
You're
right?
going, guys, you can leave me anywhere.
Yeah.
Why? Can you imagine him as he gets closer to the camp and he's going, wait, hold on.
Whoa.
There was a bar back there.
Hey.
Yeah.
Do my cigarettes transfer?
Because I shit half of them out on the way here.
So he keeps organizing amongst the POWs, and he keeps getting arrested for it. He becomes friends with a Bolshevik in the camp, and his son, the son of the Bolshevik, worked in St. Petersburg. In July, he walked out of the unguarded POW camp and hopped aboard a train bound for St. Petersburg.
All right.
So eventually they stopped putting people to arrest him there.
I mean, I think they had other people in the country they wanted to kill.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Well, no one's going to walk out of here and take the train, which is on time today.
So he got on the train. He would have to, these trains get stopped and stuff. So like this is now begins like a long career of him traveling without being caught as a revolutionary. He would continue to do that, all through up until the end of the Second World War. It's pretty fucking impressive. And you can imagine with all the language speaking, and then also he would have things where he could just be different classes.
Right.
He could be different, nationalities.
Right.
And people just always kind of bought it. But you have to think
he was like a Ronin spy.
Yeah, but there also has to be some kind of inherent charisma there as well.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's interesting.
Riz is what they call it, John.
Yeah,
Riz.
that's right. The word of the year. He keeps making friends with all of these.
He does, yeah.
Different types of people. And now he's learning about Bolshevism. So clearly he met someone who was like, this guy is nice. I should teach him. Or he wants to learn. So
he gets taken in by the friends, the Bolshevik son, and he joins the St. Petersburg Bolsheviks. He gets into some street fights.
Nice.
Yeah, but he's a fucking dancer.
Yeah.
He can fence. I mean, he can Rocket Raccoon some sort of rudimentary mace.
Yeah. So the Bolsheviks they don't spark. They try to do a coup and it fails in July. And the provisional government tries to just wipe out the Bolsheviks. And he bounces St. Petersburg for Finland, but he is arrested and sent to prison.
Oops.
And so he didn't travel without getting arrested a lot.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Okay.
He escaped from a train transporting him to a new work camp.
Oh, okay.
And he joined the Red Army in Siberia.
Shit.
Fighting in
So he jumped off a train in Siberia?
and then ran to fight with the army.
Dude.
And the army goes, well, if you survive from the train to
I don't
here,
like it when my Uber driver drops me off on the wrong side of the street.
but if you broke out of the Uber,
It's like, Siberia looks good. This is my stop.
yeah, well, hey, an army.
So that is, he's now fighting in the first couple of years of the Russian Civil War.
Jesus Christ.
In the spring of 1918, he applies for membership of the Russian Communist Party. By May, an anti-Bolshevik legion had taken control of some of the areas of Siberia, forcing him and his comrades to go into hiding. In Omsk, he met a 14-year-old girl, Pelagila. Her name was Polka. Nickname.
Good
Stick
choice.
with that.
Yeah.
Nickname Polka Belasova. And she hid him and helped him escape to a Kazakh village 40 miles away.
Oh, that's nice.
On October 31st, 1918, the Austro-Hungarian Empire was dissolved. And that's because Hungary terminated its union with Austria. And the country of Yugoslavia was formed on December 1st, 1918, and officially known as the Kingdom of the Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes.
Wow.
It was under the state of Slovenes, Croats, and Serbs, and the Kingdom of Serbia. This kingdom was led by Peter I, the 70-year-old king of Siberia.
Too old.
Can't give him a kingdom. He's old. He's
Yeah.
too old.
I'm not gonna have to live with his decisions.
He has practice. Yeah, well, that's a good point.
1919, he's now 27. The war ends with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles on June 28th, 1919. He maintains the mill in the Kazakh village.
No, that's a good gig.
Yeah, until November when the Red Army recaptured Omsk.
Shit.
The Red Army had been formed in January of the previous year, and it was the official army and air force of the Russian Soviet Republic.
But he had already been in the Red Army.
Yeah.
So, he probably still had some stuff left over.
He was able to move back to Omsk, and he married the 15-year-old Polka. And in the fall, he and his pregnant wife moved to Komrovec. That's his home village, of course.
Right.
And since the empire had collapsed, it was part of Yugoslavia, the new kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes. And he learned that his mother, Maria, had passed away and that his father had moved to a town near Zagreb. There was no metal workshops in Komrovec, so he...
well, why didn't he make one?
They briefly moved to the capital. So he worked as a waiter. He took part in a waiter's strike. He joined the Communist Party of Yugoslavia. The party was gaining popularity, but the ruling regime considered them a threat.
Of course, the popularity will do that too.
Yeah, and they're, I think, at first they were trying to be, less of a kingdom, more of a country, but, it's not...
Power kind of concentrates.
Yeah, well, you got a guy in charge either way.
Yeah.
So the government declares a proclamation outlawing communist activity, including the production of propaganda and assembling in halls.
No assembling in halls?
Can't get together in a hall.
Well, how am I supposed to fence or dance?
Yeah, and what if it's an assembly hall?
Yeah.
What if it's a church?
Oh, well, they don't have halls.
Not a hall?
No.
What if it's a pledge of allegiance to the monarchy?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, the hall of allegiance.
What if we all got here to pledge allegiance?
Yeah.
Me and my 20 friends.
What about orgies?
Yeah.
What if we threw a pledge and nobody came?
Well, that's a bad orgy.
Well, that's what. Yeah.
John, could I have that beer in front of you?
Oh, yeah.
The full one.
Thank you.
They look real good on camera.
Oh, we should get a slide. Like
or a pneumatic tube system.
Or
Yeah.
a tube system. So
Yeah. We'll get that guy that put together Pee Wee's house.
Yeah.
We'll have a little helicopter bring it over to you or something.
Rube Goldberg.
Yeah. Communist civil servants and students were stripped of their benefits and scholarships.
Huh?
So that sounds like a good way to make a lot of people who are going to rise up against you.
Yeah, making a popular thing more popular.
What are they thinking? What is anybody thinking?
Give them blowjobs.
Now,
you'll tire them out.
1921, Josip is now 29. King Peter I passed away in his home in Belgrade at the age of 77. His second son, Alexander, or Alexander I, succeeded him as the monarch. On August 21st, 1921, communist Alija Alajic assassinated the anti-communist proclamation's author, Yugoslav Minister of the Interior, Milorad Draskovic. The Communist Party of Yugoslavia was declared illegal under the Yugoslav State Security Act of 1921. Josip lost his job because of his communist ties. He and his wife moved to Veliko Trostjevo, where he found work as a mill mechanic.
Oh, now there's machinery in the mills, then.
1922, he's 30. The CPY, Communist Party of Yugoslavia, the leadership was arrested in January. Stevo Sabic took control of the party operation, and reached out to Josip, who agreed to illegally distribute leaflets to factory workers and stir up resistance. Josip advocated violent revolution, unlike many of his more moderate comrades.
Huh. Well, that's a guy that
talks cheap.
Yeah. Come on, let's fucking go, pal.
And also, he knows a guy that works with metal.
Yeah. He was elected to the CPY District Committee in 1924. He got arrested after a priest complained when he gave a speech at a comrade's Catholic funeral. He was paraded through the streets in chains and held in jail for 8 days.
Oh, my God.
Charged with creating a public disturbance. He managed to get a Serbian Orthodox prosecutor who hated Catholics, and he and his co-accused were acquitted of all the charges.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, you got to find your guy.
At least the courts weren't that crooked. He could get seems like he got a fair trial.
No, it wasn't fair at all. The guy hated Catholics. It was totally bigoted.
Right, but he got acquitted.
Because of his unfair thing was beaten by another unfair
That's fair to me.
Yeah, it sounds like they cancel each other out.
The enemy of my enemy.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they have like billboards on each side of the street. One for the anti-Catholic, one for the anti-Protestant.
You choose, man.
Yeah.
So, but now they got a fucking eye on Josip Broz. They searched his home on a weekly basis.
Hey, we're here for the home searching.
Weekly search.
Him and Polka had 3 babies die soon after being born.
God damn it.
And their daughter Zlatina died at 2 years old.
Oh, Jesus.
They deeply mourned her loss, and in 1924 she gave birth to a son, Zarko.
Cool.
Who
Zarko Broz
was able to grow up.
Oh, good. Okay.
His new bosses at the mill gave him an ultimatum in 1925. He's now 33. Cease all communist activities or be fired. He chose the latter and became a professional revolutionary.
Yeah.
He moved to the Adriatic coast to work at a shipyard and further the CPY's aims. He loved the Adriatic coastline, and in later years he would spend a lot of time there.
Well, it's beautiful.
Yeah. He built up the shipyard's trade union organization and got elected as a union representative. In 1926, at the age of 34, he led a shipyard strike and was swiftly fired. In October, he got a job on a railway works team near Belgrade, and that's where they get closer to the Cyrillic alphabet and stuff, because between Croatia and there, you got Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's it's closer to Russia,
Okay.
In 27. At age 35, he wrote a newspaper article complaining about factory worker exploitation and was again fired. The CPY appointed him secretary of the Zagreb branch of Metalworkers Union and soon thereafter the entire Croatian branch of the Metalworkers Union.
Nice.
In July, Josip and 6 other workers were arrested and imprisoned.
Not good.
Just like every fucking other month.
Yeah, this was a very tumultuous time. It's not just for him, but the world in general is like either you're in war or you're being exploited or you're dying or your kids are dying.
Yeah.
Or a bomb is being built. Like something is going on
all the time.
All the time.
And changing neighborhood to neighborhood.
Yeah.
In this part of the country or continent.
Yeah.
But, for him, he's pretty familiar with jail. What's a week in jail?
Which jail, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Homeless.
You write the book on jail.
So they were arrested and imprisoned or fired and imprisoned. And they were held without trial for an extraordinary length of time. So he goes on hunger strike. He was put on trial.
He loves to strike.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was put on trial in secret and found guilty of being a Communist Party member. He was sentenced to 4 months in prison and released pending appeal. The party orders him to hide out in Zagreb instead of attending his appeal hearing.
Yeah, of course.
He disguised himself as a middle-class technician in the engineering industry with false papers and dark eyeglasses. He's like Dr. Strangelove over there.
Yeah. He's actually blind.
He covertly contacted his fellow Communist Party members and coordinated the infiltration of trade unions. 1928, the CPY held a conference and Josip was one of the 32 delegates. He condemned factions within the party. One of those factions was advocating for a greater Serbia agenda within Yugoslavia. The CPY's leader was a Serb, Sima Markovic, and he supported that faction. Josip told the executive committee of Comintern International, that is Comintern is like, we're the international commie crew.
No.
Oh, okay.
So that is especially going to be
the UN of commies?
Yeah, but it's really more of a surrogate for the Soviets.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, hey, we got to fucking we got like an international plan, and if you don't, go with it, it's fuck you.
Problem.
But it's interesting that he's going like, hey, they're going back to regional factionalism and
that's against the whole point of what we're doing,
right?
Yeah. So this is when you're talking about the regime that he is against here. You're talking about the
Inter-Communist Party of Yugoslavia factions.
Got it. But even aside, the umbrella around them is the new Republic of Yugoslav.
They're in the kingdom of Yugoslavia.
That's right.
Yes, correct. So. And that's an illegal thing to be in Yugoslavia now. So all of this is
it's the Balkanization of the Balkans.
Yeah. So they he takes this stand to the Comintern saying like, hey, what the fuck is this guy doing? Trying to
This is the International Council of Vampires.
He's going to the fucking he's going to the Commie Crew International, and he's saying this guy's trying to split up the shit, and the Comintern agrees with him, and they dismiss the entire Central Committee of the Serbian branch.
Damn.
And
dismissed.
They expelled Sima Markovic. So a new Central Committee of the Croatian branch of the CPY was elected with Josip as the secretary. So now he's like done this little dance to the
they can't put him in jail anymore.
To the top of the CPY.
He worked the machinery.
And so the CPY was adopting a policy of working for the breakup of Yugoslavia, but not in like, I guess, an international way. Mm-hmm. But Josip is really going to try to change that later. Mm. He arranged a disruption of the Social Democratic Party meeting on May Day. He was involved in a melee. How do you say that?
Melee.
A melee?
Like a melee weapon?
Yeah.
A melee on May Day?
He was arrested for being involved in a melee outside the venue and got arrested.
Not the My Lai massacre.
No. Or
yeah. I heard somebody say melee one time, and I was like, is that
melee? They are wrong and dumb, and they've never played a video game.
It was in Ireland, so those.
Oh, okay. Well, weird accents.
But the police did not identify him, and he was charged with breach of the peace, but under a false name. He served 14 days.
This guy's got dark glasses.
Yeah. And then he goes back to stirring shit up after he's let out. A police informant helps them track Josip down. He was held in jail for 3 months, during which time he was routinely beaten by the guards.
Oh my God, that's not good.
No. It's usually, but it's part of a weekly search.
Oh.
Yeah. In November, he was put on trial for illegal communist activities. They found bombs at his residence, but he claims those were planted. He was found guilty and sentenced to 5 years in prison.
I mean, I have to imagine what the legal communist activities were.
Yeah.
None.
I think surrendering.
That's the only thing you're legally allowed to do.
Yeah. You can kill yourself. Not a crime.
You can suck my dick.
Yeah.
Made a cake.
Share it with everybody. You fucking commie.
Share it with them. Jeez.
Share the dick with everybody.
Oh my God.
Pass it down the line.
Yeah, for each according to his needs.
Pass it down the chow line. All these guys in the fucking prison camps.
You bring enough for the whole class?
Let's say again.
Oh boy. Please, sir, I'd like some more.
1 milk, 2 come.
Hope it's not 2.
That's Madness.
So his wife and Zarko, the child, the boy.
Zarko Broz?
Yeah, Zarko Broz. Mm-hmm. They're taken care of by some locals that are sweethearts. And one day though, she bounces for the Soviet Union. Oh. And she leaves the son in state care. Because she fell in love with a new man.
No, these things happen.
Howard Hughes. Fucking the exact.
Yeah, his plane crashed the Soviet Union and he's stumbling around.
So Josip got her addicted to Demerol.
Josip gets to prison and secures a job maintaining the electrical system. He was
in prison?
Yeah.
They let a prisoner maintain the electrical system?
Yeah, you can only beat him so much.
I mean, anything goes wrong, that guy's getting beaten instead of you.
Yeah, but like, doors are open.
I don't think they had electrical doors back then.
I don't think it was like
but
that.
you know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's why they don't let it have it now.
No.
The electrical system. It's just one bulb.
Yeah. They're like,
Yeah, dude.
And
Lights out.
It's one bulb.
Lights out,
It's one
motherfucker.
bulb and a guy on a bike.
Yeah. Oh, no.
As fast as he can.
And he repairs the bike.
Yeah, that's what they meant. That's what they meant. He maintains the electrical system.
Yeah.
Feeds the hamsters.
He did work with machines. He was a mechanic after all.
So he was able to choose an assistant, and he singled out this guy, Mulsa Pijade. I don't know how you say it. He was a 20-year-old middle-class Jewish guy from Belgrade, and he had been also in prison for communist activities. And they could move around the prison, working on the electrical system and organizing communist activity within the prison.
Yeah, of course.
And despite being 16 years older than this 20-year-old, that 20-year-old kid would be like his ideological mentor.
No shit.
Yeah, he was like far more like,
He got past the second grade.
Yeah.
Well, he knew what Riz meant.
Yeah. He had cool fits.
Yeah, tattoos and stuff.
Inked up.
So the new king, Alexander I, got rid of the constitution, banned all national political parties at the beginning of 1929.
Always good.
King of Yugoslavia.
Yes, and he renamed the country the Kingdom of Yugoslavia and established a royal dictatorship.
Oh, wow. Real fucking creative.
Sounds
The
redundant.
Kingdom of Yugoslavia. What was it before?
Yeah. The Kingdom of the Slovenes, Croats.
Yeah, the new Yugoslavian kingdom.
Now it's a royal dictatorship, not just like a regular one.
It's like when they call
it's hot.
They call like Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like it's Rambo. It's all Rambo.
Come on.
Like, come
It's
on.
all Rambos.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious. Fast 5. Come on.
Yeah.
It's just a dictatorship.
Come on, it's the same fucking shit. It's about family.
So two and a half years into his sentence, he's accused of an escape attempt. He's transferred to Maribor prison and held in solitary for several months. He completed his sentence, but upon release, he got arrested and taken to Ogland to serve a 4-month sentence that he had avoided back in 1927.
That's how they always get you for that thing.
1931. The man is 39 years old.
Jesus Christ.
He's
Or
old.
Cosell.
Yeah. That man is 31.
King Alexander imposes a new constitution and formalized his rule as a constitutional monarch.
This emperor's got a new groove.
It's the same one.
1934, he's released from prison, Josip is, and he's ordered to return to Kumrovec and make daily reports to the police. Can you fucking believe that?
Daily reports?
Daily reports to the
That's
police.
most of your day is reporting.
Yeah, well, it makes it easy that way.
CPY reaches out to him, and they offered him to return to his, former work as a revolutionary.
Nice.
And he bounces Kumrovec, and, Polka's not there. The kid's not there. His dad's not there. I don't know what the fuck he was doing there. And he goes to Zagreb and joins the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Croatia. And this is the first year also that Hitler is taking power, right? As the Führer.
I imagine they went to him and it's like that guy in the woods where they're like, we have one job.
What?
They're like, we need you. I know you're retired.
Oh, the guy. There's one guy for the job.
Yeah. But he hasn't done it in years.
Right. I get you.
Yeah.
So the woods thing threw me off. But
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay.
The Croatian branch of the CPY is fucked up in 1934, and the executive committee flees to fucking Vienna, right? And they operated the party in secret from Austrian offices. For half the year, Josip was using fake passports to travel between Zagreb, Slovenia, and Vienna. And in July, a smuggler tries to blackmail him, but he got across the border, and the Heimwehr, which is like a home guard paramilitary organization, stopped him, and he was able to do a badass Austrian accent. So he was like, I'm a mountaineer, I got lost, and they
And these glasses I got.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie with Pitzpaloo? The accent is 1, 2, 3.
No idea.
So he gets an assignment to arrange
Fassbender.
Okay.
He arranges he gets an assignment to arrange a secret CPY conference in Slovenia. And they held that conference in the Roman Catholic Bishop's summer palace because the bishop's brother was a communist sympathizer.
Cool.
At the conference, he meets a guy named Edvard Kardelj.
Kardelj?
Yeah, Kardelj. And he's a Slovene communist who'd just gotten out of prison, and they became really good friends. And this would be one of the people that he has as like his deputies that are like, there's one from every part of Yugoslavia. You know what I mean? So like
he's collecting Barbies.
He's collecting guys, but like this guy also this guy, good guys. Solid
knowledgeable guys,
good guys,
down finger on the pulse, guys.
And they became really good friends. And he would say that Edvard was his best lieutenant, basically. He's still wanted by the police for not doing the daily check-ins.
Fuck your check.
And he starts using pseudonyms like Rudy and Tito.
Tito.
He used Tito as a pen name in journal articles for the party. And later on, he just told people he's like, that was like a common street nickname in my village.
Interesting.
Yeah. His nickname within the Comintern network, because you got to go meet them and shit too, is Walter.
What?
Yeah, it's weird, right?
It kind of sticks out.
Maybe there's a bunch of Walters.
Yeah. And so his articles would be about like, this is your responsibility as a communist in prison, and then here's just different stuff about
here's how to behave in prison.
Right.
Here's different stuff about trade unions.
If you're reading this, you're in prison.
On October 9th, King Alexander I arrived in Marseille for a state visit to France to strengthen the country's alliance.
What year?
This is
38?
Excuse me, 34.
34.
Big year.
Yeah. A very good year.
So yeah, they're going through this, this bullshit traffic that they had back then, and with the French foreign minister and a Bulgarian gunman, Vlado Chernozemski, shot the king twice and the chauffeur with a semi-automatic pistol.
Wow.
He died in the car, slumped backwards with his eyes open. Vlado was an assassin for the International Macedonian Revolutionary Organization and an instructor for the Croatian ultranationalist organization Ustaše.
Huh.
So any kind of dissidents now are getting, fucking really shut down by the Yugoslavian government.
Macedonian is not something you really hear a lot.
Yeah, well, that's kind of
mainly Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
End of list.
But, they didn't learn the lesson from World War I. This guy walks up in traffic.
Yeah, dude. A lot of these fucking drive-by shootings,
Yeah, it's a walk-by shooting.
Yeah.
The car's driving by. Yeah. You're standing there.
I mean, theoretically, it's the traffic that killed him.
Honestly, traffic is killing all of us.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Slowly.
Yeah. Internet traffic, all of it. So
sex traffic keeps Matt alive.
The CPY is like, dude, you got to get out of Yugoslavia. And he forged a Czech passport to go to Vienna, where the rest of the CPY are hiding out. Then they decide that the Austrian government is also too hostile.
Ugh.
And they go to Czechoslovakia. They hold a secret meeting in Slovenia on Christmas Day. That's Tito's first election to membership of the Politburo. He's assigned to travel to Moscow and report on the Yugoslavia situation. Early February 1935, he arrives in Moscow as a full-time official of Comintern. He's introduced to the main personalities in the Comintern. He was appointed secretary of the Balkan section in charge of Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, Romania, and Greece.
And Greece.
Wow.
Tito was lecturing to foreign communists on trade unions and attending courses on military tactics taught by the Red Army.
Fuck.
And in his free time, he took in shows at the Bolshoi Theater.
Hey.
Why not?
He loves to dance.
Yeah.
Through July and August, Tito was one of 510 delegates to the 7th World Congress of the Comintern. It was at this conference where he'd first lay eyes on Joseph Stalin. He spent the rest of the summer touring the Soviet Union and would return to Moscow to continue his work. 1936 to 1937, he made contact with his wife Polka and son Zarko, but it was around this time he also fell in love with an Austrian woman.
Nah, these things happen.
Half his wife's age? 10?
She worked at the Hotel Lux where the Comintern members lived.
That's good.
Her name was Johanna Koenig, and within the communist ranks, she went by Lucia Bauer. Polka learned of Tito's love for her and divorced him in April of 1936. In October...
Oh, I mean, yeah, hard, tough for him. She ran away.
Yeah, I know. You dumped your kid in the middle of nowhere? Come on. In October, he's married to Johanna, and he's working to promote the new Comintern line on Yugoslavia. A breakup of the country was no longer workable, and they had to defend the integrity of Yugoslavia against Nazism and fascism. From Moscow, he organized strikes at the shipyards on the Adriatic and the coal mines near Slovenia. The Comintern allowed Tito to work inside Yugoslavia, while Gorkic and the Politburo would continue operations from Paris. In 36 and 37, he was doing a lot of traveling between Moscow, Paris, and Zagreb, all while under falsified passports. His father died in 1936. Spanish Civil War breaks out in 1936.
Bingo.
Tito returns to Moscow the month after. The Great Purge is now happening.
Uh-oh.
So Stalin is trying to consolidate his control of the Communist Party.
His fucking mind.
And that was like 2 years.
Of purge?
Yeah. He strengthened his grip on the party and removing all executing members. You really are focusing on the Trotskyists here, and any potential rivals for power at all. I've got to get got. Foreign people like Tito are not safe. That it's a bad fucking place to be. So this is one of the things I see as much as any war or any battle where I'm like, maybe this was when he was in the most danger.
Okay.
Interesting.
Was during Stalin's purge.
During Stalin's purge, and you
everyone's in danger.
You being a communist, you're like, I showed up. I'm in the Red Army. Like, what the fuck, you know? Like,
how much of a threat could I be?
Turns out a lot. Turns out maybe none at all, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to Stalin.
No,
his doctor's a threat.
Yeah,
yeah.
His fucking dog.
So there was a veteran Yugoslav communist named Filipovic.
Of course. His son Steve Stevenson.
Fake name.
Stalin ordered him dead. And Tito had written like a glowing report about like what a veteran, brilliant communist this guy was. Secret police took him out. Tito was sent back to Yugoslavia and assigned to recruit volunteers for the international brigades being raised to fight for the Republicans in the Spanish Civil War. They tried to send 500 volunteers to Spain via ship, but nearly all of them were arrested or imprisoned. He heads to Paris and arranged...
Arrested or imprisoned by the Yugoslav authority?
I would imagine. I would imagine by the Spanish.
Franco's guys.
Yeah,
good guys.
And then he arranged military volunteers to travel to France under the guise of them attending the Paris exhibition. And then they were like, "Oh, we'll cross through the Pyrenees and we'll get in the action."
Easier said than done.
Tito sent 1,200 men to fight in the Spanish Civil War, of which 330 were from Yugoslavia. Less than half of the total recruits were communists. The rest were just a variety of anti-fascists. You know what I mean? Because you had anarchists, all that shit too.
Lots of anarchists. They all came back to write novels.
Yeah. I think only 200 of that 1,200 weren't arrested or shot dead. Between May and August of 37, he organizes a new movement of volunteers to create a separate Communist Party of Croatia. In June, Gorkic was called to Moscow, where he was arrested, interrogated by the secret police for more months, and shot. And Tito's new party is inaugurated at a conference on the outskirts of Zagreb. That month, the Politburo of the CPY called him to Paris, and he was appointed the acting general secretary of the Communist Party of Yugoslavia. He works on creating a new leadership team that was younger and loyal to him, including the Slovene Edvard Kardelj, the Serb Alexander Rankovic, and the Montenegrin Milovan Dilas. And these will be the lieutenants, basically, for most of his reign. In December, he arranges a party demonstration to greet the French foreign minister who was visiting Belgrade. And that's because the French foreign minister is visiting the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they were expressing their solidarity with the French against Nazi Germany. And so then they basically are like, this is a protest march in support of you against our government.
Yeah.
So the cops break it up. But like 30,000 people showed up for this fucking thing. He moves from Paris to Yugoslavia in March. And he heard a rumor that maybe opponents within the CPY had tipped that off to the cops. And he gets into Yugoslavia a few days before Nazi Germany takes Austria. And he made an appeal condemning this action. He contacted the Comintern, and they approved his travel to Moscow on August 24th. And gentlemen, we are going to pick it up with the Second World War in part 2. But, yeah, I mean, this is like, so obviously, bad days ahead.
For a lot.
Bad days.
A lot of people.
Not good.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, what we've seen here is basically already pretty fucking insane.
There's a lot of, this is the fertile soil.
Yeah.
From which a real devastating flower is going to grow.
This is also one of the things I wanted to bring up to both of you too is...
Wait, can we take a little break and come back?
Sure. We'll take a little break. We'll be right back, folks. And we're back. One small thing, I do have to thank Laura Crawford for doing the research for this episode.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
One thing I forgot to mention was when he's laid up with the pneumonia,
and
it was two schoolgirls taught him Russian. And they brought him like books by Tolstoy and shit.
And he's like, my wife was 15.
You girls remind me a lot of my wife.
But so, like, where we leave, just keep in mind here, it's like he's going to the Comintern. It's back to Moscow, and you're back in
the USSR.
You're back in you're back in Stalinland. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But he went through so many revolutions.
And I think the thing I take away from this guy, because he's very hard to know, and like they said, like, ideology was not the thing. Like his fervency about communism is born from like being on the factory floor. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not some like high,
like a lot of the people who were on the ground floor of the thing.
Yeah.
They were part of the workers' revolution because they were working.
Yeah. And like there's a lot of things, where there's then you see like all this, bureau kind of bullshit that's going to go down. And the way it happens, either politically or him escaping prisons or avoiding capture, is, you would go like, I've heard it said of Tito, like when he came in the room, like even if he was being a goofball, like he exuded, like there's a reason why he was like the youngest sergeant in the Austro-Hungarian army. Like they were like, you want, this is a guy from the New York Times saying this in a wonderful little piece narrated that you can find on YouTube, narrated by Henry Fonda, actually.
Oh.
And it just talks about some, people that shaped the 20th century. And there's a nice little 20-minute thing that was probably on, ABC in 1982. You know what I mean? And and it was a great little piece. But one of these guys from the New York Times was saying like, yeah, he did exude something about him that made you want to follow him. But also when he's in these uncomfortable places, I would say, there's, like I said, a certain amount of charisma. You call it something else. But also, I think one of the things, my biggest takeaway so far is the aspect of the dancer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like he's just able to fucking like bob like and weave and like
dancer, romantic.
Like he's just very able to navigate everything and understands.
And the fencing.
And but he understands
strategy.
He had a quote about this that was something to this effect later. He's like, what's good today isn't necessarily good tomorrow.
That's dance.
So you kind of got to know like how to navigate all this shit. And I think what you're going to see in part 2 is like him taking that to the highest level possible. You know what I mean? Like
of the like the dance.
The dance. You're going to see the dance really kick up several notches in kind of unbelievable ways.
That's right. Get the two people to throw you into the air.
Yeah.
So it's Tito part 2, Communist Boogaloo.
Yeah.
But he's got some, got to worry about Stalin. Got to worry about Hitler for now.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot to worry about in this particular period of history.
Yeah. And the thing is too, is that you would think, like his last time in Moscow was scary. This time's going to be even scarier.
Fuck.
But there's a thing there where you go like, hey, we got a way bigger problem, like way closer to me. You're probably going to sign some kind of non-aggression pact with this guy. You know what I mean? This guy, also like,
I'm sure he's good for it.
Yeah, no. Solid guy.
So good guy.
Good guy.
But like, the thing of like, hey, we're all communists here, and you still are walking into a different buzzsaw is like, fuck. But then
that's what the dancers.
How is that going to affect his like attitude towards international communism going forward, and what is he going to do with it?
And and his own country, and especially because I was thinking about the revolutions that he had come through. Right. How often do you come through revolutions to where then you start freaking out when you start gaining power about revolutions?
Yeah. Right. What do you fall into the same trap of
the people? Yeah.
Of suspecting every young upstart of.
Well, that's what happened.
So that's the fucking most interesting thing about Tito is that there's a beautiful kind of as not bad as it can be. There's still some scary prisons that you're going to see and stuff like that.
Okay, good.
You don't say.
But well, I mean, this time they'll be his. Oh. You know what I mean?
He's like, I learned from the best. He's basically the Bane of prison.
But you're going to see that it's like he doesn't really have, there isn't like a communist revolution in Yugoslavia.
Because, he was communist.
He was communist, but like there was nobody. Well, the war changes everything.
Right.
So we're walking into World War II, and it's just gonna be like he just comes out of World War II such a fucking hero that there's a thing where everybody is just like, we want to follow him.
Oh, he's like Dr. Doom.
Kind of.
Yeah. He just strolls in
he's like
you're welcome.
Doom.
Anyways, I'm going to move into this fucking castle.
Yeah. But this guy dances.
Yeah.
And he fences.
I think Doom can cut. Has been known to cut a rug, my friend.
Yeah.
Well,
in the Kingdom of Latveria?
One of your little pornos?
Yeah, one of your little pornos.
Yeah, we got to find that porn.
Oh,
Dr. Doom porn?
Oh.
That'd be fucking nice.
Big fucking, just a circle on the mask.
But
I'm very excited for part.
Me too, man. But I mean, this part of it, I was.
This is already like 3 lifetimes of shit.
I was so exhausted.
Yeah, if you got hit by a bus and died, it would still be.
Yeah, a lance from a man on a horse.
Huh?
And then you get pneumonia.
Well, it makes more sense if the guy's on the horse. If it was just
guy's name is Lance.
Yeah. These two girls are bringing you Tolstoy books. Like, god damn.
And who knows what else?
Yeah.
No morality.
Yeah, it's truly exhausting. And there's a thing there too where you're like, man, I wonder like if this guy like really was able to visualize it. Like this is what like a workers' republic will look like. You know what I mean? Like
we'd certainly seen the things that he didn't like.
Yeah, and like he was, he said like his first time in Russia, I think he said like it's just during his first visit there. He's like, I heard mostly talk about Lenin. He's like a little about Trotsky. He's like zero about Stalin. You know what I mean? Stalin was very much a come from behind kind of guy. You know what I mean? But Tito, was kind of like hot shit from day one, like he really, jumped his way up. But also it's crazy too, because like he's always willing to scrap.
Mm-hmm. Clearly.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like it's not as if he's hiding in some office in Vienna like these other guys. No. He's like fucking going like
bouncing around.
Yeah, he's out in front,
mixing it up.
Yeah. Melee weapons.
Melee. Who's to say?
But he makes friends. He makes a lot of friends of very different people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, learns a lot of languages.
But he's also willing to fight.
Yeah.
But he goes to prison a lot.
He's the people's champ. He's like The Rock.
Yeah, and he has a good, he could take any job as some sort of regular person.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, imagine being like, you're a communist in prison. You think you're not going to work? Baby, your work's just starting.
Yeah. Working's in the title.
Yeah. He's like, you got room and board and you don't work?
Yeah.
Get these hamsters on these
What
wheels.
do you think this is, capitalism?
We even pay the hamsters.
Yeah, it's just a crazy life. And it just seems like he had no fatigue. There's
no time for fatigue.
But that's
and also those train rides are pretty long. You might be able to work in a couple of naps.
A lot of time to think.
Yeah.
And there's a thing where, obviously it was socialism stuff was starting around then, but it's not as if it was taught at home or something. You know what I mean? He just saw so many poor working people
he
continuously getting fucked over.
Yeah, there's a reason that it popped off in that part of the world and in that time in history.
Yeah.
One, the Communist Manifesto wasn't written until 1890 whatever.
Yeah.
And Das Kapital, that's a big part of it. But the Industrial Revolution and the exploitation of the workforce facilitated by machinery.
Yeah.
The machines do this now. Well, you can do all this other shit that's fucking demeaning and dangerous and unhealthy. And coffee, yeah.
Yeah.
Coffee, yeah.
But
it's just that when you combine with working on a farm for the vast majority of history was, subsistence, or at the very worst, sharecropping type of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But once it became industrialized and a profit motive, then it just became dude, if your arm gets lopped off in a combat, whatever, move on, next guy there.
Yeah. And, just forced extra hours.
Yeah.
Or not paying you for the hours. All types of shit.
And kids. Or coal mines, you got to power the machinery now. Send the fucking kids. It's it just was this perfect storm of exploitation for that for the workers' revolution to take place, because it was just so bad.
Yeah, I mean the machines are taking jobs, but also then in return giving you worse jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and exploiting you more instead of giving you more power.
Yeah. And I mean, now look at the unions now. They don't even stand up to having a fucking computer replace them on screen.
Well, it happens when only 37% of the union votes.
But it is
dude, what the fuck?
It's historically more than they ever have. It was 20-something a few years ago and 17 a few years before that.
Good job, actors.
I mean, that's more than the people who vote in the national elections, so...
Oh, no, I think we do better than that.
No, we don't.
It's right around the same.
I think it's close, yeah.
No, but I
don't think people know how to vote.
Well, I think a lot of people... Well, there's a lot of people who don't get the day off of work because it's not a holiday.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of people who... I've never met someone who doesn't care, but apparently there's a lot of people out there, and I have not met those people.
There's a lot of people that don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Or
but
just
about your
fuck
job?
the system.
Specifically your acting job?
He just meant Jeff.
No, I know. No, of course, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that...
And also, there's a lot of people who are in SAG who haven't gone on audition a long time, and they're just working at Panera.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
that's true.
But I think there is a slight...
They're not unionizing Panera.
Listen,
either.
I'm a card-carrying member of NAMBLA, and I haven't fucking looked at a kid.
Shut the fuck up.
For years.
Yeah, meanwhile, you had one.
Yeah.
I think there's a... Right now, union membership is growing. Union strength in America.
Yeah, you have the most pro-union president in a long time. At least speaking about it.
And I think there's not some direct and parallels, but you see, when exploitation rises so much, people. Well, I mean, but the interesting thing is that when people feel better about the economy, they're more likely to strike.
Yeah,
and so I don't think that's exactly what was happening then.
Oh, I mean,
were people more desperate, or were people feeling better about
then? Desperate.
Yeah, brutally desperate.
But they had been desperate for so long. You have to imagine, were they?
Fever pitch, man.
I think stuff there being leaflets and shit and being yo, we're all getting fucked over.
Man, there is more of us than there are.
A little bit more mass communication.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I think
everyone's dying.
I mean, Haymarket was about an 8-hour day. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's fucking, it's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now we have a Labor Day. Nobody even knows what it's about. It's fucking pathetic.
You just can't wear white afterwards.
That's the only thing. I wear a hat on the day. That's all I know.
I think it's maybe a similar time because of the AI stuff.
Everybody's working for the weekend. Nobody even gives a shit
about
the origin behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A wire. They work. For
Yeah.
The weekend.
Now they think The Weeknd is some kind of musical artist.
Dude,
What a fucking joke.
fucking joke.
Well, fellas, are you excited about part 2? It's gonna be
Very
It's gonna be real fun.
Yeah, dude, WWII.
And we're gonna get into some real cult of personality shit, and maybe fucking we throw on a sombrero or something cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we'll fucking pop back some Tito's.
Yeah.
Tito
good idea.
soda.
Great idea.
Yeah.
We'll listen to some Tito
We
Puente.
should call Radiston.
We should actually.
The fucking Bulgarian.
I was
Yeah.
thinking about that too.
They had that Bulgarian assassin.
Yeah.
Radiston's probably out. He's sitting at home. He goes, I think my ears are burning.
He puts
Yeah.
some fucking dark glasses on. He's like, it ain't me.
He'd be like, "Oh yeah, I don't know why we shot that guy."
I mean, he.
Yeah, well, he's pacing around the room. He looks guilty as hell.
Yeah, man. 2 new dads in the crew.
Dude,
How about that?
what do you
Yeah.
know, man?
And, a couple of daddies.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very, very nice. All right, boys.
Bullshit.
Very good to be in our new home here.
Yeah, it's
Very nice. Hey.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Oh,
Great
boy.
job. I'm excited for the next episode.
Yeah. All right, fellas, let's wrap this fucking shit up. I'm going to say goodnight. I love you. My name is John Fahey.
I love you. My name is Aaron Pita.
Map your soap.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good night.